Once upon a time, there was a poor widow who lived alone in a thatched hut. In front of the thatched tent is a garden with 2 rose trees. One tree bears white roses, and the other tree bears red roses. She has 2 daughters who look as beautiful as 2 rose trees. So she named one girl Snow White and the other Rose. The 2 girls have a cheerful personality, are polite, diligent, and work tirelessly. There are very few children like that in this world. Snow White has a gentler and more gentle personality than Hong Hua. Hong Hua often runs around on the grass and in the fields to pick flowers and catch butterflies. On the contrary, Snow White always stays at home with her mother, helping her with housework. If there is nothing else, she reads books to her mother. The 2 sisters love each other very much. They hold each other and number 39's hands wherever they go. When Snow White said, "We sisters Dawn and number 39 want to live apart," then Hong Hua continued, "We Dawn and number 39 want to be apart from each other for the rest of our lives." The mother also told her 2 children, "Whatever you eat, you must share." The 2 sisters often wandered alone in the forest, picking wild berries. No wild animals had any intention of harming the 2 children. They crept closer to the 2 children. The rabbit ate the cabbage leaves in the children and number 39's hands. The deer stood right next to the 2 children calmly grazing. The deer jumped back and forth, and the birds perched on the branches chirping happily. Nothing happened to the 2 of them. If they were busy playing in the forest and it was already dark, they would lie next to each other on the moss and sleep until morning. The mother knew that, so she didn't and #39 worry about anything. One time 2 sisters slept in the forest. When it was dawn, the 2 children woke up and saw a beautiful boy wearing white clothes sitting next to where they lay. The boy saw the 2 girls awake, so he stood up, looked at them affectionately and went into the forest. The 2 sisters looked around and saw that they were sleeping right next to an abyss that neither of them saw last night. If they had only taken a few more steps, they would have definitely fallen into it. Hearing the story, their mother told the 2 girls that it was probably an angel coming down to watch over the good children so they could sleep peacefully. Snow White and Hong Hua took care of and swept the house so clean it looked pleasing to the eye. The cleaning and housework during the summer is done by Hong Hua. Every morning, before her mother woke up, she went to the garden to pick flowers and placed a vase in front of her mother and number 39's bed with 1 white rose and 1 red rose. In winter, Snow White lit the fireplace and hung the pot on the fire. The brass pot she polished carefully made it shine like gold. At night, when the snowflakes fell, Mother said, "Snow White, please go and close the door." Then my parents and I sat by the fire. Mom put on glasses, took a big book and read the story to the whole family. The 2 girls sat spinning and listening. Lying next to it was a lamb, behind which was a white dove sleeping with its head tucked under its wing. One evening, when I saw my mother and daughter gathered together listening to a story, there was a knock on the door, a loud knock like someone needed to come in immediately. Mom said, "Hong Hua, run quickly to open the door, it and number 39's probably a pedestrian looking for a place to stay for the night." Hong Hua ran out, pulled the latch, and thought to herself, "It must be some poor person. Who would have thought it was a bear sticking its big, black head into the house?" Hong Hua screamed and stepped back. The goat bleated, the dove flapped its wings, and Snow White hid behind her mother and number 39's bed. But the bear could talk. The bear said, "Dawn and number 39. T be afraid, I won and number 39. T do anything to you, I and number 39. M freezing all over. I just want to warm up here for a while." The mother said to the bear, "Poor bear, come close to the fire to warm yourself, be careful not to burn your fur." Then she called out to her children, "Bok Tuyet, Hong Hua, go away. The bear won and number 39. T do anything to you, the bear is very gentle." Then the two children ran back. Gradually the sheep and pigeons also approached, no longer afraid of the bear. Bear said, "Please shake the snow off my fur for me." The two children took brooms and swept away the snow clinging to the bear and number 39's fur. The bear stretched out close to the fire, purring to show happiness and comfort. Soon the two children got acquainted with the bear and joked with the clumsy and naive guest. The two children used their hands to pinch the bear and number 39's fur, put their feet on the bear and number 39's back, played with the bear left and right, or even more playfully, used a chestnut branch as a whip to whip the bear, and every time the bear growled, the children laughed happily. The bear also likes to let the two children play like that, but when the two children get too playful, the bear says, "Snow White, Rose Rose." It and number 39's okay to play around, but killing someone you love seems inappropriate. It was time to sleep. When the children went to bed, the mother told the bear, "You can stay by the fire to warm up, avoid the cold and bad weather." As soon as it was dawn, the children opened the door to let the bear out, and the bear kicked off the snow into the forest. From then on, every night, at the same time, the bear came to lie down by the fire and let the two girls play freely. Over time, it became a habit. The whole family waited until the black-furred guy came to bolt the door. Spring has come, everywhere the trees are green again. One morning, the bear said to Snow White, "Now you have to leave. During the summer I could N and hash 39, T come here." Snow White asked, "So where are you going, dear bear?" "You must go into the forest to look after your property, lest evil dwarfs steal it. In winter, the ground hardens due to frost, so the dwarves have to stay underground, unable to get out. But now the spring sun has melted the frost, the ground has softened, they will be able to get out and will search and find ways to steal. What has fallen into their hands and is in their lair is difficult to get back." Snow White was very sad because she had to say goodbye to the bear. When she pulled the latch on the door and when the bear dodged to go to the gate because the door latch was stuck and scratched a piece of skin, Snow White saw that there seemed to be gold glittering under the bear and number 39's skin, but she did not know the bear and number 39's personal story. The bear walked quickly and disappeared behind the trees. Not long after, my mother sent the two children into the forest to pick up tree branches to use as firewood. In the forest, the two children saw an old tree lying on the ground. In the grass near the tree, something was jumping up and down. "The two of us, Don and number 39's, know what it is." When the two children got closer, they saw a dwarf with an old face and a long beard as white as snow. The beard got stuck in a crevice in the tree trunk. The dwarf jumped around, but the more he jumped, the more he got stuck, and he didn't and #39 T know how to get it out. He glared at the two girls with bloodshot eyes and shouted, "What are you standing there for? Why Don and number 39 T you come here and give me a hand?" Hong Hua asked, "What did you do to make it so bad, dwarf?" The dwarf replied, "Stupid, curious goose. I want to chop a tree to have small firewood for the stove. If you burn big firewood, your food will be burned. We only eat a little bit, not gulping it down like you greedy eaters and drinkers." I firmly wedged it in, thinking everything would go smoothly, but who knew that damned piece of wood was so slippery. The wedge flew out, and as quickly as lightning the wooden slot closed, making my beautiful silver beard stuck. And could N and #39 T get it out? That and number 39 SYU and number 39 laughing, "You stupid brats who still smell milk, Don and number 39 T you know any shame?" The two children tried their best, but could not pull the beard out, because it was clamped too tightly. Hong Hua said, "Let me run and call someone for help." The dwarf shouted hoarsely, "You crazy sheep, who would call for help? The two of you are more than capable of helping. Can and number 39 T you think of a better plan?" Snow White said, "Don and number 39 T be impatient, I have a way." Then I took the small scissors out of my bag and kept them close to where the beard was stuck. Seeing that he had escaped danger, the dwarf picked up the bag full of gold lying among the tree roots and grumbled, "You ill-mannered bastard, you guys cut off a piece of his proud beard. The devil will torment you." After saying that, he threw his bag on his shoulder and walked straight without even turning back to say hello to the two girls. Some time later, Snow White and Red Rose wanted to go fishing. When the two children approached the stream bank, they saw something that looked like a big grasshopper trying to jump down to drink water. The two children ran back and immediately recognized the dwarf from the other day. Hong Hua asked, "What are you doing? Surely you Don and number 39 T want to jump down to drink water?" The dwarf shouted, "I and number 39 am not that crazy. You guys Don and number 39 T open your eyes and look. That damn fish is planning to pull me down." It turned out that the dwarf sat there eating, then fishing. But unfortunately, the wind blew his whiskers into the fishing line. At that moment, a big fish bit the hook. The dwarf did not have enough strength to pull the fish up. The stronger fish kept pulling the dwarf into the water. The dwarf clung to the grass and reeds, but it didn't and #39 T help much. He was still being pulled by the fish, and just as he was about to be pulled into the water by the fish, the two children came. The two girls held on to the fishing line but could not, because the two things were tangled together. There was no other way but to use scissors, and of course another piece of the beard was cut. The dwarf saw this and exclaimed, "You brat, is that the way to play? Who would distort someone and number 39's face like that? Isn't and #39 T that enough? You guys over there cut off the bottom part, now cut off the most beautiful part of my beard, making me not dare to let my teammates see my face anymore. I pray that you guys have to run and kick off your heels." Then he took the bag of pearls and put it in the reeds. Without saying another word, he carried the bag on his shoulder and walked straight, hiding behind a large rock. Another day, Mother sent two sisters to the province to buy needles, threads and ribbons. The road passes through an area full of low bushes, but here and there are occasional large rocks. The two little girls saw a big bird flying over their heads, then swooping down on a rock. Immediately, the two girls heard a terrible cry for help. The two girls ran over and were very scared when they realized that the eagle had grabbed the dwarf they were familiar with. The eagle intended to let it go. The two girls, who loved people, quickly clung tightly to the dwarf, struggling until the bird had to let go of the bait. But when he regained his composure, the dwarf turned around and yelled, "They are bad things. You rude and clumsy thing!" There was a time when someone would pull at their neck like that, causing their thin shirt to tear to pieces like this. Then it picked up the jade bag, crept through the rocks and into the cave. The two girls got used to his ungrateful behavior, so they went straight to the province to finish the work assigned by their mother. When they returned, the two girls also passed through the same wilderness. The dwarf was surprised that it was so late that someone was still passing by. It is pouring the pearls onto clean ground. Under the afternoon sunlight, the jade sparkled in a variety of colors, making the two girls stop and watch curiously. The dwarf shouted, "What are they doing standing there, those monkeys?" His face, which already looked pale, was now red with anger. He was about to continue cursing when suddenly there was a terrifying growl and a black bear came out of the forest. The dwarf jumped up in panic and tried to run back to the cave, but he could N#39 make it in time. The bear was standing right next to him. The dwarf was scared and begged, "Dear Mr. Bear, please forgive me. I will give you all the jewels. Have you seen the beautiful jewels? Please let me live, this small, skinny guy who can N#39 eat enough to stuff his teeth. You eat those two cunning bastards, their meat is as soft and fatty as that of a field dog, please keep eating." The bear did not pay attention to his pleas and immediately slapped the evil man, causing him to die instantly. The two girls ran away, but the bear called after them, "Snow White, Rose, Dawn and #39. Be afraid, wait for me to go with you." The two girls recognized the bear and #39's sound and stopped. When the bear approached the two girls, suddenly the bear and #39's fur fell off, and the bear turned into a handsome young man, dressed entirely in gold. The boy said, "I am a prince." That evil dwarf stole his valuables, then turned him into a bear and ran in the forest until he died before being freed. Now it has received the punishment worthy of its crime. Snow White married the prince, Hong-Hua married the prince, then the four of them divided the wealth that the dwarf brought back to hide in his cave. The old mother lived many years happily with her daughters. The two rose trees she brought with her were planted right in front of the window. Every year they bloomed with beautiful white and red roses. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.